So today, I want to talk about some things you probably missed in the Seed Stage update in Grow a Garden. Before we get into it, make sure to hit that sub button, help me out guys, and share this video. Your one click really matters, alright? Let's get right into it. There's honestly been a lot going on with this update, and I mean, the sudden change in the game really gave some players a reason to lose motivation to play. If you haven't noticed yet, after the seed stages dropped, there's been a massive fall off in players. We're talking hundreds of thousands gone. The numbers are way down. It's only around 300,000 now, and believe it or not, Plants vs. Brainrots is actually pulling more players at the moment. And yeah, a big problem too is that a lot of scripters are taking advantage of this update. Exploiters in this game are just everywhere right now. It's honestly crazy how widespread they've become. But even with all this bad news floating around, there are still things in this update that you probably missed. And these are the details I want to highlight today. Okay, so first off, the Cosmetic shop actually got a pretty solid update. And honestly, it's way cooler than most people realized. They added this brand new second tab, which means now you've got way more options for decorating your garden. You can really mix things up, try out new combinations, and just design your garden to look like your own little world. Personally, if you've been watching my videos for a while, you probably remember I used to have a Japanese house in the back of my garden. I love designing, but because in past updates, cosmetics usually didn't feel necessary and kinda got in the way of grinding, I ended up removing it. But now, for people like me who enjoy decorating, this update actually makes it worth paying attention to. And then, oh, they also added plant trade signs. I don't know if you guys noticed or even had the time to open the cosmetic shop, but yeah, these are here too. And technically, this isn't brand new, because signs like this have been in the game for a while, but now they're actually more useful, and it keeps your whole garden looking cleaner and more put together. No more guessing, no more clutter, it's just all clearly displayed. Now, let's move on to pets, because this is where things get interesting. The new iguana pet found inside Jungle Eggs, it actually has 6 color variants, and from what I've seen, they all seem to have equal chances of dropping. That's actually a pretty neat surprise for collectors. It means that you don't have to stress about some rare looking variant being locked behind insane odds, unlike some of the pets we've had in the past. I honestly don't get why patch notes don't highlight stuff like this more, because these little wins are what keep people engaged. Another small detail is the restock animations in the shops. If you haven't noticed, recently the restock notifications were actually combined together, but then they quickly changed it back again. I don't really know why they did that, and they even added updated sound effects. It might sound tiny, but honestly, it makes a difference. When you're farming and constantly checking shops, that little polish makes everything feel smoother and more refreshing. It's one of those small quality of life things that just adds to the overall experience. And mobile players, this is big for you. The game runs so much better on phones now. If your device used to lag or freeze, it should be way less of an issue now. Everything feels smoother, way more responsive, and farming or trading isn't nearly as frustrating anymore. Console players also got some love, with a bunch of the annoying bugs and glitches finally fixed, which makes it so much easier to play without random crashes. They also did a little balancing on the Forever Pack. Nothing too major, but it does feel a lot more fair now. New players won't feel too overwhelmed, but people who already invested in it are still getting solid value out of it. And honestly, tweaks like this are what make the game feel more balanced long term. Menus also got a nice little polish. Everything looks cleaner, easier to navigate, and overall, it just makes sense now. You don't even realize how much it helps until you look back at the old interface. It's literally night and day. The proximity prompts got some attention too, which means interacting with items feels less buggy, less clunky, and way more natural. No more clicking a bunch of times just to get something to respond. But here's one change that definitely bummed people out. The spray merchant is gone. Like, completely gone. Nobody really knows why, and it feels weird not seeing it around anymore. Maybe they'll bring it back in some new form later, but for now, it's just missing. What do you guys think? Should it make a comeback, or are you fine with it being gone? And another thing tied to the spray merchant is the crafting area. Shocked mutation spray and glimmering mutation spray are both removed. The reason, at least from what I've noticed, is probably because certain pets can now give us those exact mutations. For example, the Glimmering Sprite. This tiny little fairy pet, which you could get from the fairy event inside the enchanted egg, has a passive that says, every approximately 338 minutes, flies to a nearby fruit and enchants it, applying Glimmering Mutation. So basically, it just replaces the spray. And then you've got the Firefly pet, which you can get from the Season Pass or Garden Pass at level 25. Its passive is, every approximately 853 minutes, approximately 3% chance a nearby fruit becomes shocked. Again, this pet basically replaces the shock spray. So yeah, technically there's no reason for the devs to keep those sprays in crafting anymore. Now, let's talk about why the community is so heated right now. The Seed Stages update itself honestly landed with pretty small content, and then a paid battle pass that felt kinda underwhelming to a lot of players. People were expecting something more substantial, new mechanics, meaningful rewards, but instead, what arrived felt thin. It's one of those updates that looks okay on paper, but doesn't really push the gameplay forward. And then, on top of that, came the exploit. Here's what went down. Around Saturday, for roughly 2 hours, there was a clear vulnerability tied to the Seed Stages mechanics. Scripters and exploiters were able to donate huge amounts of Stage 3 plants, and in return, they got massive amounts of Tier 4 rewards. And when I say massive, I mean thousands, tens of thousands, even hundreds of thousands of items like lollipops and jungle eggs just pouring into a few accounts. That kind of concentrated reward injection just breaks an economy. Prices collapse, rare items stop feeling rare, and the trading system basically becomes chaos. The devs did patch the exploit after those couple of hours, which is good, but the aftermath is the real issue. When a small group suddenly holds obscene amounts of resources, the entire market gets thrown off balance. Players who didn't touch the exploit are left struggling to grind this event fairly. Some people even reported being trade locked during the incident, which suggests the team took some protective steps. But here's the thing, so far there hasn't been any public announcement of a sweeping ban wave. So the big questions everyone's asking are, how are they gonna handle this? Will there be targeted bans? Nobody knows yet. And yeah, trying to guess those answers is about as fun as, well, watching a plant grow. Slow and mildly stressful. There's also a lot of bugs right now. If you go to the bug report channel, you'll see tons of posts. A lot of them say that players' pets actually vanished, like they just disappeared into thin air for no known reason. People are complaining a lot about this, and it's making many players feel frustrated on top of everything else. And I saw this one comment in one of my videos. All the eggs that I've been grinding for weeks have been removed from my inventory. I don't use any sort of scripts, just grind 24/7, and that's not just me. Many others have had things deleted, taken. This is a huge problem. I can feel the frustration in that comment, because really, who wouldn't be pissed off if you worked so hard to hatch an egg to get the pet you want, and then suddenly it just vanished from your inventory? That is so frustrating. I get them. But let's give the devs some time. You know, there's been a lot happening in Grow a Garden lately. Anyway, on top of that, there's a new section in the Grow a Garden Discord called OP Stock. This part is new. The very first post there by Sam was on September 27th. Since then, all the OP stock pings have been posted in that section. So if you want to follow OP stock updates, that's where the pings are showing up now. But there's actually another thing I found that's pretty concerning. Scripters out there who exploited the game are still roaming around in the game like nothing happened. I saw a lot of players commenting on some of the posts in the bug report on Discord saying that they used the script on their accounts. It's note of accounts. That means they didn't just use the exploit on one account, they did it on multiple accounts, and apparently they're not even getting banned. I mean, why? I don't know what their reason is, but anyways. And honestly, that's the sad part. First, fruit mutations got nerfed. Now, scripters are out here abusing event rewards. Stuff like this is exactly why the game feels like it's dying slowly. And what makes it worse is the developers don't seem to be doing anything about it. So if any devs happen to be watching this video right now, I just want to say, please show some love to the community like you used to. Fix the game, fix these issues before it goes too far. Because if things keep going like this, the game might honestly end way quicker than anyone expects. I don't even know why bugs this serious make it through. Maybe it's security not being checked properly before updates go live, maybe it's something else. I don't want to jump too deep into it right now. I'm still gathering info before I speak more on it. But yeah, it's worrying. Anyway, that's pretty much it for all the little updates and secrets in the seed stage update that a lot of people probably missed. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.